Mental health resources are hard to come by, especially in Central Georgia's more rural counties. The Washington County Sheriff's Office hopes to use $1.6 million from Governor Kemp's law enforcement grant to change that. The plan: create the first rural multi-county mobile mental health task force. Jessica Cha explains what it's about and why it's so important.
From November 2021 to November 2022, the Washington County Sheriff's Office received over 26,000 calls, and out of those, 350 of those were mental health crises. Sheriff Joel Cochran says during a mental health crisis, law enforcement is usually the first call.
We have to go out and deal with people that are in these crises, and oftentimes they become very difficult.
Cochran says situations can easily escalate, like 28-year-old Brianna Greer, who died in neighboring Hancock County when she fell from a moving patrol car after her arrest during a mental health crisis.
We're not trained mental health professionals.
We may have a crisis almost 2 or 3 times a week.
Oconee Behavioral Health Operations Director Shawana Downing works with law enforcement agencies during mental health crises. They provide the initial checkup with doctors and counselors.
And if the provider feel like they need inpatient, that's where they would end up going to the hospital. Then once they're at the hospital, it's like they're stationed there because they're waiting on beds.
Downing says some can wait in a jail for more than a week waiting for a room.
Jail is really not a place for a person that's in a mental health crisis.
Cochran says 5 other rural counties share the lack of mental health resources. So with almost $1.6 million, they'll create a task force for each county with a behavioral health worker, a deputy, a peer support individual who's dealt with mental health crises firsthand, and a crisis intervention expert.
They'll have the resources they need to help de-escalate the situation, try to get them some help rather than, always having to incarcerate them.
In Washington County, Jessica Cha, 13 WMAC News.
Now, Sheriff Cochran says this Thursday they're meeting to start putting those teams together.